Hey there everyone, it's Val and welcome to today's second end of the day tour for Skyfactory 2.5, The Labors of Valentine and Friends, also known as the Society of Squirrels. And Ophios Tyndall, hello and welcome to the stream. I'm doing the end of the day tour. Normally I don't talk to people when I'm doing the end of the day tour, but I've never seen you before, so I thought at least I could say hi. Alright, so let's start with well, I guess we'll start over here. This was my major project for today, is automating as much as possible, the production of soul sand. And so basically what we've got here is witch water being produced by having the barrels being filled with water beside the mycelium. So I ended up making a bunch of different machines. I accidentally made a fluid accumulator. I don't know where my brain was, but I meant to make an aqueous accumulator. So we have it sitting over there. We don't need it yet, but we will one day, so it's not a total waste. Once I realized my error, I went ahead and made the aqueous accumulator, and that is what is feeding our ex nihilo barrels. And let's see. Sorry, a little tired. My brain keeps shutting down on me here. Lack of sleep. What, that'll do it to you. Alright, so that's the first step, is feeding the barrels with water. And because they are adjacent to mycelium, the water gets slowly converted into witch water. Then we will want sand to come in. And the sand is coming from this barrel here. And I'll explain how that barrel gets filled in a moment, but that is feeding the sand, and it goes into the barrel. And right now, do we have any sand? I don't think we have any sand, but we can quickly change that, because we have gravel being produced, and I'm going to go through what this is doing here in a moment. I just want to get some sand happening, so I can show you the witch water. So now let's take out the cobblestone, so we start to get some sand being made. Alright, so now we should see the sand start to come in, and the witch water vanish. Unless, of course, I have this off. So having that on would probably... Yep, there we go. Now you can see it's changed out, because what happens is the sand is being put into the barrel. It gets converted into soul sand when it comes into contact with the witch water. And then from below the barrel, the soul sand is being pulled out and put into this barrel here. As you can see, we now have 9 stacks of soul sand. So that's basically, there's 4 parts to automating the soul sand production. Obviously, the first was the water. The second is the putting in of the sand. Third was pulling out of the soul sand. The fourth is automating the production of the sand. So as I think I showed last end of the day tour, Gore has created over here a nice automatic cobble gen, and it's also been set up to produce lava automatically. So what I did was I created an auto hammer, and we put 2 diamond hammers in there. I created a lava generator, and then I just tied it into the system that was already sitting here, and that's one of the reasons I placed this over here. So we are getting sand produced from the cobble, and we're getting the power to run the auto hammer also being produced from the cobble. So it's a nice self-sustaining system, because the lava, of course, is coming from the cobble as well. And I think that's pretty cool. It's something somewhat similar, but using different mechanics as to what I did in Agrarian Skies 2 years ago. Right, so we have the lava coming in, powering the lava generator. The auto hammer is pulling in the cobble and turning it into gravel. And this is switch here is to turn on and off whether or not the cobble is coming in, so that we can... we only have the one auto hammer, so we need to be able to tell it, are you going to turn cobble into gravel or gravel into sand? And right now it's working on the gravel into sand. And as you can see, it's going to be out of gravel pretty soon. And I've got it set up with switches at all the places so that we can turn it all off at any point in time and use the auto hammer for something else. Because again, we are still shy on diamonds and we only have the one auto hammer. So then the sand that's being produced doesn't go over here because that's the gravel. It gets pulled out and it gets fed over to this sand barrel here, which we can see is filling. And it will continue, however, to be emptied and turned into soul sand unless I turn this off, and I'm going to turn it off because I would like us to accumulate some sand. So that's the bare bones system for automatic production of soul sand. Eventually I would like to have it set up so there's an we have two auto hammers set up, one for producing gravel, one for producing sand, and I'll have a barrel that gets filled full of sand or gravel, and the overflow is what spills over into the next system. So just to explain that again, because I think I might have made it a little confusing. You have a barrel for gravel. When that gravel barrel is full, the excess flows over into the second auto hammer and it gets turned into sand. Then you have a barrel of sand. When that barrel of sand gets full, the excess sand gets sent over to this system to get turned into soul sand. And of course, when soul sand barrel gets full, then everything will get backed up and stop, because you don't need any more than that. But we only have one auto hammer, so I can't go that fancy yet. Right now it's manual and you have to turn switches on and off, etc. The dogs are going to drive me insane. Gory and his wolf pack. Ah! Alright, so the other thing that I set up a whole bunch of storage drawers for our storage system. We do have a controller, but it's not all set up automatic yet, so we can't just throw things in the chest yet. Greater Raider was the one who filled them all, because I got sidetracked by working on my automated system over there for the soul sand. Today I also worked on making the alloy smelter and the induction smelter, so we have that as well as the fluid transposer that I made by accident. So we have those. So anyway, that's what I've been working on today. Probably told you in far more detail than you perhaps wanted to hear. I am in a delightful pink set of Elementium. Is it Elementium? What is it called? No. Yeah, Elementium armor from Britannia, courtesy of Gore. So thank you very much, Gore. I appreciate that. All the little wings and whatnot on it. And I know he also upgraded the Imperio to the Imperial furnace. I can't remember what the one prior to that is called, but it's the upgraded version of it from Britannia. So it actually works really fast. It's pretty impressive, actually. Actually, I'll just give you a peek at how fast it's going to do the job. So that's pretty fast when you compare it to a vanilla furnace. And Gore also made a Mana Steel hammer, and Robert made a Mana Steel tablet, because Gore probably has his Mana tablet on himself, and we didn't have one. So we had to make another, because he's not here. So he's also been busy. He's been working on making a Lapis Lazuli crop. He's also got, well, a lot of mana production set up here with hydrangeas. We have passive decay turned off because we find remaking the same flowers over and over again really annoying. And he also created the mana sieve, so we've got dust going through here. Actually, Robert has dust going through there because he's working on a power project. We are just basically running off of a lava generator over there and a survivalist generator over there, and Robert is working on getting us solar panels. And I am so looking forward to that. And Robert, you made the autosieve too, I think. So the autosieve too, which I kind of went past. And we were using that to sift the soul sand. So let me just throw in another thing of soul sand. And I think, unless Robert has something that he's worked on that I haven't mentioned, because I was unaware of it. Soul sand. In you go. We have solar? We have solar! Woohoo! Yay! Solar panel 2s and 1s. Awesome! Besides lava, lava is my second favorite source of power. My favorite source of power is the sun. Awesome. Well, we're all set to go then. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Gore made a trip to the Nether for some blaze rods for Britannia. And I put the block in front of it because the pigmen were coming to visit and I didn't want them to visit. Because for one thing, they're like cats. They get into the places and they get punched. Right, so I think that's everything. When I'm trying to cover what 4 people have done, it gets kind of long. Especially when I spend a fair number of minutes explaining what I've done. So, unless Robert can think of anything else that I haven't covered, I think that's going to be it for today. For today's end of the tour, rather. So I hope you guys enjoyed this end of the day tour. I know I had fun, and I hope to see you in the stream sometime. Y'all take care now. Bye.